Hello and welcome to the World Centre of Racing at Daytona International Speedway for the 47th running of the Daytona 500. We've done some racing, practice, qualifying, some more racing, and we're going to finish it off with the biggest one of them all. 100 laps around this 2.5 miles track. And the drivers there have been testing, been racing on this track now for 6 days. And finally, we're going to see who will etch their name into the history books as becoming the 2005 Daytona 500 champion. Will it be Dale Jr.? Will he go back to back? Will it be a new driver on the list? Will a driver that's won it multiple times be on it? We will find out in about just over 1 hour's time. Now, Tony Stewart, as you can see there, started on the pole, and alongside him is Rusty Wallace. They started on the front row because of the qualifying, as Tony Stewart posted the fastest time. Rusty Wallace posted the second fastest time, so they were guaranteed, no matter what, to start on the front row. And on the second row of the grid are the drivers that won the two Gateway dual races, and it was such a surprise to see Mike Wallace for Morgan McClure Motorsport won dual race number 1, and Jerry Robertson also won the second dual race. So they were going to start 3rd and 4th. Top 15 drivers made it, and it was the top 12 fastest that had their average times in practice and qualifying that also made their way through the field. Big names not included, such as the likes of Mark Martin, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, and Greg Biffle as well. So there's some big names that did not qualify. So this is a really topsy-turvy grid, especially in the top 10 at least. So without further ado, I will stop my yapping, and then we will get these 42 warriors out onto the track. The pace car goes off onto the race, and out they go. 100 laps around Daytona, and any one of these drivers can win it. Before we go to the green flag, here is the starting grid. Fielder in the middle of 3 and 4. That's a look at how the 42 cars look on for this main event. The showdown here for Daytona 500. Tony Stewart is not 1-1. Rusty Wallace is not 1-1. The favourite, really got to say, is Tony Stewart. He's won the Bud Shootout, qualified on the pole. Can't say anything about him that's going to... I don't think anyone is going to stop him to win this Daytona 500. Anyway, pace car pulls off. Flagman graves the green flag. We are underway for the Daytona 500. Looks like Bobby Hamilton is going to lead the first lap then. Now, before the race had started, there was a meeting with all the drivers. They usually do a meeting before every race to talk about what we should and shouldn't do when it comes to pack racing like this. And the main object of the topic was going 4 wide. We had seen multiple times in the Gatorade Dual races that drivers did go 4 wide and ended up being a wreck. So drivers were told in the drivers meeting, do not go 4 wide. We want to see some great racing. We want to get the fans their entertainment. We're going to cause a massive accident early on in the race. And looks like it's going to be Boris Said that's going to lead the second lap. Yes, he does. Only just though. Ken Strader in the 49 for BAM Racing. Behind him, the first of the Chip Ganassi team. That is Sterling Marlin, the veteran. Followed by Dave Blaney in the 07. First guy in the middle is Ricky Rudd, the 21. And then on the outside is the 36 of Boris Said. And now Ken Strader goes to the high side now. And let's have a look here from Sterling Marlin's here. Oh, that's a bit of close racing there with the 21 and the 36. Gosh, it's such a gorgeous sound, isn't there? All 42 V8 engines screaming their way past through the camera within like 1 second worth. Here comes a couple more veterans down on the inside, a couple more Dodge drivers. Bill Elliott in the 91, he's won the Daytona 500 a couple of times. And Morgan Shepherd looking to win his first one. And here's the green, number 89. And behind him is Jimmy McMurray in the 42, so a real Dodge charge up against the bottom. I think Scott Riggs is at the tail end of the field in the 10 Valvoline, although he's now gone to the inside. Now Scott Wimmer's now at back there in last position. 3 wide. There's about 14 rules of free wide, making their way over to the tri-oval and then into turn 1. Yet they go on to lap number 5 out of 100. And here comes Morgan Shepherd. Ageless Morgan Shepherd there. He drove a very smart race in the Gatorade Duels there. Yeah, he was... he may have had a little bit of contact on the first strike that happened very early on when Stanton Barrett tried to go 4 wide very early on. But he played, and Morgan drove a very smart race. He was just driving at the back of the field, just seeing if there's any more accidents happen, which it did. And he got through it all, managed to finish in 10th place in his dual race, which made him qualify in 19th place. And he actually led that lap. Morgan Shepherd led a lap at Daytona. Look at that. Now to the inside, there's Jamie Murray. Behind him is the 38 of Elliott Sadler. Oh, that's some tight racing. Behind him is the 37 of Kevin LePage. He was really surprising in qualifying and in practice. He's got a fast car all weekend here. Watch out for the 37. He could prop up a surprise. And behind him is the 34 of Chad Chaffin. He had to race his way in. He didn't have a quick practice time and a very not a quick qualifying time, but he raced his way in the 500. And there he is, third car on the inside. Behind the 37 of Kevin LePage, the green and black Dodge. As they're 3 wide yet again, up front in the lead. The Dodge on the outside, Dodge in the middle, Ford on the inside. Now Ryan Newman is at the back of the pack. Look at those sea of cars there. That is one giant pack of cars there, ladies and gentlemen, at 200 miles per hour. One car we've also just saw there on the inside is the red number 8, defending winner of the 500, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Got to be careful for him. He knows how to win around this 2.5 mile track, as well as Talladega. There he is there. 4th car on the inside. Now, so far, he's not with his teammate Michael Waltrip, who's farther back in the middle of the field behind Casey Mears in 41. You can see him in the blue number 15, ahead of Jeremy Mayfield in the red, the green number 19 on the roof of the car. And there behind him is Matt Kenseth, one of only 2 Roush Racing, only 5 of the drivers, and only 3 of them didn't qualify in Biffle, Martin, and Kurt Busch. As look at Chad Chaffin. Chad Chaffin is trying to put his Mach 1 Motorsport Chevrolet to the lead, the unsponsored car. Looks like he wants to lead this thing. Tony Stewart nearly up against the wall. Don't go 4 wide, Brian. They're going to go 4 abreast, aren't they? Yes, they are. They're going to go 4 wide. They were told in the driver's meeting. And Chad goes off the middle of the track. Spins, goes right into the... Oh, and there's the crash. And there was it. That's what happened. That's why you don't go 4 wide. And they were told in the driver's meeting. Casey Mears hit the wall extremely hard. Oh, Ken Schrader. Schrader's gone for a wild ride on the infield in turn 1. So too did Leffley. He was on his side. Robbie Gordon was involved. A lot of drivers were involved. The 2 Evernham Motorsport Dodges of Mayfield and Casey Keane. Matt Kenseth, Jeff Burton. There's a lot of damage. Carl Edwards was involved. Oh, that's a disaster there for Mayfield, who finished 3rd in the Bud Shootout. Sterling Marlin. Jason Leffler is stuck, and the pace car is just picked up. And, yep, they have just gone by the start-finish line with Kevin LePage coming out as the leader. So the big ones happened already on lap 9. Let's have a look. Just going by the start-finish line to start another lap. And yeah, Brian Vickers did stick his nose underneath the 34 of Chad Chaffin. And again, as I was saying, they were told not to go 4 wide because something like that would have happened. And yeah, they both did well not to spin the car on the infield. I mean, that would have been probably better, really. But then Chad comes back on. He's got space to go on the inside, so he was okay. And you can see Junior giving Vickers the space to come back on the track, but he just carried so much speed going back on. And then Junior went into the 77. The 89 may have scraped the wall too. There goes the 31 spinning. The 29 of Kevin Harvick, he also went around. So a couple of the, in fact, all 3 of the Richard Childress team were involved. Ricky Rod, you could just see him there at the bottom of the screen. He pushes and flips over Ken Schrader's car over the top of Sterling Marlin's Dodge. And then the cars all come down to rest, and you can see Casey Kane pushing Jason Leffler over on his side. But there was some scary rides there, especially from Ken Schrader. But yeah, multiple cars involved, and yeah, and it was all because of Brian Vickers coming up onto the track. And like I said, to be fair to Junior, he gave him space. He just didn't let off the gas, didn't he? This is on board from Casey Mears. Mike Bliss on the inside. Just see Ken Schrader's car there flipping wildly there. That's such a scary ride from Ken. From Sterling Marlin's view, who we just saw led not long ago. Oh, that's just so scary to see. Someone flipping right in front of you. I mean, these are all good friends away from the track, but that's something that you definitely don't want to see, is a car flipping right on top of your car. And riding aboard with the post at Tony Stewart, he got through this, but just look how he got through this accident. He actually came across the line in 37th position. There goes a spinning Robbie Gordon. Wow. He got through all that. Well, looks like everyone is going to go into the pit lane to make their first stop. I mean, they're going to do multiple pit stops anyways. It is 100 laps long. We are doing about 250 miles. I don't know. I say it's the Daytona 500, but tradition, isn't it? So all of the cars are coming into the pit lane. We're going to stick it on to pit lane number 2 to see all of them working their way in. Some of them as well that have actually picked up some damage. And we're just going to wait to see who's going to come out on top of the 37, or anyone else is going to come out leading. Probably drivers will put some 2 tyres on, sometimes maybe 4. We'll just get to find out in a couple of seconds' time who's going to come out leading. Whilst we go back to the green flag. And it looks like it is going to be Kevin LePage, followed by Terry Labonte, Elliott Sadler, Jeff Green and Chad Chaffin were side by side. Bliss, Johnson, Hermie Sadler. There's Junior in the 8, who was collected involved in the accident. Morgan Shepherd and that will go through. Jerry Robertson too. And something's just happened when the cars were heading out onto the pits. Check a look at this. The field gets stacked up. Gordon got into the back of the 12 just a little bit. But Scott Wimmer just ploughed into the back of Morgan Shepherd's Dodge. And the hero from last year's 500, by finishing in third place, his day might be done with that substantial damage done to the front of his Caterpillar Dodge. So, yeah, Scott Wimmer, who just had a complete lapse of concentration, and it looks like he may be out of the race. Welcome back again to the getting the restarts here for the Daytona 500. We're going to be on lap 14 out of 100, so there's still plenty of laps to go. Kevin LePage, he came in as the leader, and he still comes out as the leader. Terry Labonte in second place. Elliott Sadler in third. Jeff Green in fourth. Then you got Chad Chaffin, a real surprise, up there in fifth place. Mike Bliss is in sixth place, followed by Jimmy Johnson, who's had a nightmare of a Daytona Speed Weeks. He is now there in P7. Eighth place for Hermie Sadler. Jimmy Montgomery, ninth. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who was involved in that first incident, is in 10th place. Just got to check if his Budweiser Chevrolet is okay as we go back to green flag yet again. I think Elliott Sadler was caught napping at the start. He's already lost 3 positions. Jimmy Johnson looking good already in the 48 car. Yeah, was an absolute disaster in practice, disaster in qualifying, disaster in the Gateway Dual Race, disaster in the Bud Shootout. How much of a fairy tale this will be if the 48 can get to victory lane, as his teammate Terry Labonte takes the lead over Kevin LePage. Chad Chaffin's made a great start. He's now in second. He did restart in 5th position, as there's some of the field there getting through drivers that have got damage as well. As I just seen there, Michael Waltrip trying to go around the outside of Kevin Harvick, who nearly went up in, who nearly blocks Michael. Michael nearly up rushing against the wall. He came across the line there in 27th place. So he's trying to get by an injured-looking Kevin Harvick, who was involved in the first caution, as well as the 89 after Scott Wimmer ploughed into the back of him. And as you can see there, Scott Wimmer is out of the race. You don't see a black and yellow Dodge. There's the pole sitter there in 26th position. As we go three wide for the lead yet again. This time Jimmy McMurray back to the inside. And I think he led that lap over Hermie Sadler. Dale Jarrett in the 88. And there's Mike Skinner, now the only driver in the Bill Davis racing team. And there was Scott Riggs. We did mention Scott Riggs there. Was at the back of the field about lap 5 or so. There he is now. As well as the 18 of Bobby Labonte. And the 1 of Martin Truex. And the 4 of Mike Wallace. Gatorade 1 race winner. As Tony Stewart ducks underneath on Morgan Shepherd's Dodge. And Brian Vickers is now behind his teammate Jeff Gordon, with Boris Said followed behind as Rusty Wallace, the outside pole sitter, who just dives underneath. So we've still got a good pack of cars here still racing. We're still looking at Kevin LePage, who came across the line in 12th position now, as Dale Jarrett now heads the table. Dale Jarrett, who's won the Daytona 500 on a couple of occasions. Hoping to write his name back again into that, where he hasn't been since 2000. And Mike Skinner on the inside, the blue, orange, white, number 23. Like I says, is the second entrant for Bill Davis. He has never won a Nextel Cup race. Could have done one in Atlanta before the engine gave up the ghost, but he has had one win to his name. That was an exhibition race they did back in Suzuka, Japan in 98, I believe it was, or 97. I can't remember. It was one of those years. But that's his ever win in NASCAR. He's never won a points-paying race, and he now leads the pack. Looks like Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Chevrolet looks like it is okay. He's just got Mike Bliss just ahead of him. And Mike Bliss has got a fast car. He started this race 39th. He's there up at the front. Scott Riggs there trying to find a way through and wants to lead. Should we ride on board with somebody? Oh, who's that scraping the wall? Who just scraped the wall? That might have been Dale Jarrett there. I think Jarrett may have scraped the wall. Now, we did see drivers get into the wall in the Bud shootout last Saturday, and that caused some accidents. Luckily, there wasn't any there. You've got about 5 rows of 3 abreast. Mike Skinner still leads. Jimmy Johnson second. Scott Riggs in third. And now it's a Chevrolet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With Junior and Bobby Labonte in the mix there too. Yeah, Dale Jarrett now actually keeps his Ford a little bit down. More scrapage there. Oh, Helmy Sadler and Chad Chaffin may have just scraped the wall together. Yeah, and you can see Chad is falling down by the wayside. Yeah, he kissed the outside wall off a 4. So too did Hermie, and they're going to be losing the draft possibly. Well, possibly not, because Chad Chaffin is in the slipstream of Kevin LePage, and Hermie Sadler in the Peak Fitness Dodge is trying to... Yeah, he just keeps ahead of Bobby Hamilton Jr. So he falls down to 20th place now as a result of kissing the wall. Let's actually ride on board with the pole sitter, just to see what he can see as we're on to lap 21 out of 100. There's Jeff Green, the Cheerios Dodge, the only driver in the Petty Enterprises in this race. His teammate Kyle Petty never made the show. And there, Rusty Wallace on the inside, past his teammate Ryan Newman on the in the middle. Ryan Newman has also had a great Daytona Speed weeks, apart from the incident that he had in the Bud shootout, but he was quick in practice, quick in qualifying, and was pretty good in his Gatorade Dual race, finishing in 6th place. Sorry, 5th place, 5th place, my apologies. A little bit of daze there from the stun. Ooh, what's happening here? Boris said, are they 4 wide? I think they are, with Gordon in the middle, and I think Bobby Labonte just backed out of it there. And Steve, that's the experience there. Again, they were told in the meeting not to go 4 wide. We want to see some great racing, and we have seen some great racing here so far, as Scott Riggs is now taking the lead in the Valvoline Chevrolet. And onto the backstretch they come yet again. You can see Michael Waltrip there, Pat and Morgan Shepherd close enough there. Way out of the draft though, which is containing... Oh, I don't know. I think Chad Chaffin's actually quite far back there. We've got at least about 22 cars then in the lead battle here. And it's led by Mike Bliss in the Net Zero Chevrolet. And he's all clear. He can just drive his own race here. He's just got to be doing a little bit of minute driving. And then you can see the 8. Now, even though he doesn't have the 15 behind him, he's got his teammate on Martin Truex behind him in the 1 Chevrolet. He's the 3rd entrant in DEI. So that could be a good substitute so far. You can see that Michael just way back there in 25th place as Chad Chaffin is trying to catch up to the lead pack after scraping the wall a couple of laps ago. But he is catching up with the help of the draft and Bobby Hamilton Jr. I love that camera angle. It looks so, so good. Single file then for the first 2 positions. First 3 positions, if you will. Scott Riggs shuts the door in Boris Said's face. As we're on to lap 24. Oh, Jarrett then looked low on Bliss, and he will get the position. And then it's anyone's guess further behind, really. There's a look at the 2 drivers then who won their respective Gatorade Dual races there. Wallace in the middle, Robertson on the inside. And who's that behind Jerry Robertson? It is Rusty. And Jarrett is crossing the line to lead another lap. And that's 1/4 distance of this race complete. Jarrett leads, Skinner second. And it's anyone's guess further back, really. Yep, Chad Chaffin is now caught up with the pack. So it is now a 24-car field for the lead, which is tailgated by Bobby Labonte in the NAC Battery Chevrolet. Yeah, Bobby Labonte just sort of losing a little bit of the draft here. Doesn't want to lose too much of it. And here comes Boris Said, the rookie, wanting a piece of the lead yet again. I think he did lead a lap early on in the 500. He wants to lead it again. In fact, he will if he gets great help from Mike Wallace. But look at the ins, look at the middle working. Look at Elliott Sadler. Yeah, that middle line is working by the looks of it. Not necessarily the inside is the quicker line. It's perfectly fine. Now they just went down just ahead there. They're going to be meeting some lap traffic probably next time by, and I think that might have been the 11 of Jason Leffler. Yes, the 11 and the 17 of Matt Kenseth. So, oh, and there's Travis Koppel with Dave Blaney and Ricky Rudd and Casey Kane. Jeremy Mayfield is out of the race, as well as the 91 of Bill Elliott, unfortunately, by looks of it. There's a look at the pace car, yeah. So they are catching up to the 17 and the 11. We'll still look again at Matt Kenseth here. As Chad Chaffin will put his car in the middle. Oh, Bliss and Riggs are quite close to each other. And Leland, there's a wreck. Caution's out. Jerry Robertson's around. He's got some damage. And there is the caution, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that's a disaster for Jerry Robertson. Yeah, his race is over. Look at the damage to the Furniture Row Chevy. Oh, that's such a shame for the Gatorade 2 race winner. Oh, that's such a disaster there for Jerry. Underfunded team really surprised themselves by winning that dual race. And it looks like the day is over for the 78 team. Yeah, absolute disaster there for Jerry there. Also there too is Ryan Newman. Looks like he's got a bit of front end damage there too. But the cars have all rolled up. They've caught up with the safety car. And let's see what happened to bring up the caution on lap 27. Here's a replay then from the Goodyear blimp. Just pay attention to the third car on the outside there, Scott Riggs there. He just kind of lost the line in turn 3. And Mike Bliss was sort of there. And then, yeah, Riggs came down and then went into each other. And then went into Dale Earnhardt Jr., who yet again got squeezed of all in another accident. That's a hard hit from the 78, and the 10 hit the outside wall hard and all. Jimmy Johnson just scraping by. Jamie McMurray also going by too. So not a lot of cars involved in that accident. 25 spun around Jerry. Yeah, and that's how Ryan Newman got the hit right into the side of Jerry. Spun him a couple of times, but I'm disappointed. I feel a little bit saddened there. That's a heartbreaker for that team. Again, very much underfunded team. This is what they did not need. And let's ride on board then with Dale Earnhardt Jr. It's the second time he's got squeezed in an accident. Yeah, that's quite a substantial amount of damage there on Scott Riggs' car, isn't it? And from Mike Bliss's view, you can just see the 17 and 11 are just ahead, but it just looks like to me Scott's car looked a bit tight going into 3. Yeah, no quarters were given there. And this is from Jamie McMurray's view. Wow. Yeah, and slid the tyres as well. So it looks like he's going to put on some four tyres on in his Texaco Haviland. Here's a nice view here from the spectator view. Looks like everyone that's still involved in this race is going to head their way into the pits. And it's going to be led in by Mike Skinner this time, followed behind by the 38 of Elliott Sadler and the 36. Dale Jarrett is the first to go into his pit stall. So let's get out of spectator mode and go to pit lane number 1. As we see the pace car there going their way by, or just going his way by. So probably some drivers going to put some 2 tyres on, 4 tyres on, just to get some track position. You can still hear all of the drivers in all coming into the pit lane. We've still got quite a few amount of racers still in there as Carl Edwards pulls into the pits. And out goes the 23 The 36 lost a spot. Mike Wallace comes out. Truex, Wallace, Jeff Green, Kevin LePage. There is Tony Stewart with Chad Chaffin. And there goes Jeff Gordon. Bobby Labonte, Michael Waltrip, Casey Kane. Looks like he may have had some two tyres on his car there, because his car was quite in that second battle with Ricky Rudd and Travis Quappo and all that. Now goes Robbie Gordon in the 7. And there's Ricky right there. Welcome back. Pace car lights are off. We'll get back to green flag and get some racing underway. We'll be on lap 32 out of 100. And it's Mike Skinner that leads the way. Elliott Sadler second. His teammate Dale Jarrett in third. Boris Said, the rookie, in fourth. Followed by Terry Labonte in fifth. Mike Wallace in sixth. Martin Truex in seventh. The outside pole sitter Rusty Wallace in eighth. Jeff Green in ninth. And Kevin LePage rounding out the top 10. Jerry Robertson is out of the race. And Ryan Newman, who hit him, who spun him around a couple of times, he's still in the race, down in 28th position. And the flagman waves the green flag. We're back underway. This time Sadler wasn't caught napping on that restart like he did in the first one. And he's going to go into the lead this time. Truex just went up high. Kevin LePage is going to gain a couple of spots as well from his restart. There was your pole sitter there, Tony Stewart, behind the 34 of Chad Chaffin, who looks down low. Look at the field, all just moving and shaking left and right. Oh well, Elliott Sadler goes to the high side. Now Boris Said wants to take the lead again. Scott Riggs is still in the race. He is down the order. Shown there in 27th place. Just must have been passed there by Travis Quappo in the 77 car. And just ahead of him is Casey Kane and Jimmy Johnson, who must have made a 4-tyre pit stop. So he's got a faster car, but all these cars have got slight damage on them whatsoever. Carl Edwards there, you can see he's 31st, and he is running a couple of laps down. But Mike Bliss actually just puts a real block on the 99. Meanwhile, there's Hermie Sadler there in 18th place. As Dale Jarrett gets into the lead. Maybe just got a little wiggle there off of the 2 from Rusty Wallace. And you can see the 8, the 32, and there's the 15. So the DEI boys there are close together. Oh, I think Michael Waltrip's making a move underneath. And now the 8 and the 15 are hooked up. And now it's bad signs there. I did say earlier, if the 8 and the 15 are working together, the field has to take notice, because they know how to win on these super speedway races. And they're hooked up and they're lined up on the inside line. Now they're going to work their way up through the field. Looks like Rusty Wallace actually wants a shot of the lead himself. Rusty Wallace, who dominated the 1999 Daytona 500, only missing out late on in the race. The winner, that was Jeff Gordon. But tell you what, Dale Jarrett's got some pace on that Ford there. Like, that, no real help. And was just breezing by the 2 car. Yep, you can see the 8 and the 15. They are working their way up through the field as we'll go 3 wide again for the lead onto the backstretch. Jeff Gordon looks like he has lost the draft. Down there in 18th place. So we've got a 17-car battle for the lead, and still Dale Jarrett has the lead. But it's now Chad Chaffin that's going to go into 2nd place. At the back of the pack, well, the back of this lead pack there, you see the 32 and the 38 there, just tail at the back of this pack here. But look at the lead that Dale Jarrett has over Chad Chaffin. We've seen that a couple of times in the Bud Shootout. And Chad just goes right up and blocks into Rusty Wallace's path, and then goes onto the outside lane to block Jeff Green. Now, Jimmy Johnson is actually catching up. Johnson is catching up to his teammate Jeff Gordon. And he's bringing Mike Wallace, Carl Edwards, who's 2 laps down, and Morgan Shepherd. Bobby Labonte's just hanging in touch as well as the 29 of Kevin Harvick, and I just saw there Robbie Gordon too. So I wonder if these four can maybe work together and try and catch up to the lead pack. No, in fact, Jimmy's got a heck of a run on his teammate and just goes down low and he will overtake him. Meanwhile, Jarrett and Wallace and Truex now into third place. Skinner goes low on the one. And Stewart blocking the inside, then goes to the outside. Little bit of a gap there. The top four have sort of broken out, and then the second pack, which they'll catch up now. Yep, and again, the 8 and the 15 are still working together. Just behind Elliott Sadler in the 38 that pulls underneath Borised. Borised looks like he's trying to fake a move on the 23 of Mike Skinner. I don't think that's going to work. Mike's too far more experienced to learn that mistake. And now Skinner goes low. Can he go 3 wide into turn 3? Or was Frosty still clear? No, they will go 3 wide. 3 wide for the lead. 3 wide for 4th place. Truex getting awfully close onto the back of Dale Jarrett's car. Mike Bliss leading the second pack of cars. And now Elliott Sadler wants to go into the lead now. Elliott Sadler in the 38, he wants to retake that lead. Sadler just leading it by just a front bumper. But look who's getting closer. As I said, the 8 and the 15, they are still working together. But it looks like that inside is not really working. We did see in the Bud shootout that the middle was working. Oh, I tell you what, the 36 is close to the back of the 38. Come through to complete another lap, and Chad Chaffin just comes down, shuts the door in Junior's face. So Skinner leads, Rusty Wallace in second. Mike Wallace there in the 4, the winner of the dual race 1. In the Lucas car, the white and red number 4. Tell you what, this is some great racing, Chad. Don't go 4 wide, Chad. You were involved in it? Oh, wow. Truex just got into the back of into Dale Jarrett and backed out of it and prevented another accident. So, fair play there. That's an experienced driver there on young shoulders there, what he did. He didn't keep the throttle in like what Mike Bliss did to Scott Riggs to bring out the second caution. Won to lap 41 out of 100, so nearly approaching halfway. It's Skinner, Borised, Elliott Sadler, that's your top 3. Now, I've just heard a little car engine there on the left side there, and they are catching up to Jason Leffler. I think they'll probably gain him with about maybe a lap or 2. Probably 2 laps away, they'll catch up to the slow Jason Leffler. So hopefully he'll move out the way. Probably park his car on the inside so we can still get some great racing here. Top 2 is kind of broken out a little bit. And here comes Elliott Sadler back down low on Skinner. Borised in 3rd, Terry Labonte 4th, Rusty Wallace in 5th, and it looks like that's Chad Chaffin in 6th place. Oh, and now it looks like Dale Earnhardt Jr. goes into the middle, and now look at them moving left and right because they're getting themselves prepared to try and lap the 11 of the slow Jason Leffler. There he is, he's in shot now. And here comes the pack of 17 cars. So Borised is going to lead this lap. Got help with Teddy Labonte in the 44 machine. Oh, this is how they're gonna try and figure out a way they're 3 wide. Jason really can't go to the inside. He can't go in the flat part of the track. Here we go. He's going to block the field. Yep, he has. They've all checked up. And who's going to overtake them? Who? Well, Yep, I think Jason's going to go high, but he's blocking the 38, the 23, the 2, the 4 and the 1. And now Chad Chaffin has gone to the lead now. Elliott looks low on the 11 and is get by, and it looks like the real loser in all of that was Mike Skinner, and he led a few laps too. He's still stuck behind Jason Leffler. Chaffin leads that lap. I think that's the first time he's actually led. And look who's in third place. Hermie Sadler in the 66. Hermie, who started in 10th place after finishing 4th in the Daytona 500. He wants to lead now. And look at Bobby Hamilton Jr., who was back the whole time. Now, that's actually caught up the second pack there, which is still led by, I believe that was Mike Bliss. Was it Mike Bliss? We'll see it in this camera angle, actually. Yeah, it's still led by Mike Bliss, just barely. Borisset's going to lead this lap yet again. And Hermie Sadler in second. Dale Jarrett is back up there. Dale had a very quiet Bud shootout. Yeah, not really congesting with the lead pack here, but look at him. He's looking really racy here today. As we've got 5 rows of 3 wide, and Mike Skinner is catching up now to the lead pack. And in fact, he's back in the lead draft now. Now, the second pack, which is now led by Jimmy Johnson, is going to catch up to the slow Jason Leffler. As there is now Dale Jarrett, he's all clear and he's going to lead this lap. And here comes the 15 of Michael Waltrip, the 2-time Daytona 500 champion, looking to make it Daytona 500 win number 3. Closely followed by the pole sitter Tony Stewart. And then on to the back stretch. Oh, Terry gets into Hermie Sadler and Mike Wallace has turned around. Caution's going to come out then for the 3rd time. There's the 66. Oh, dearie me there. Mike Wallace there. And, oh, Jimmy Johnson's picked up some damage and he's kissing the outside wall. And the Nightmare Daytona 500 for Jimmy has just gone up literally in smoke. He must have clouted someone. I don't know who on earth he might have clouted. It might have been Hermie. It might have been Hermie Sadler. It could have been. Oh, that's a shame. That's a real shame. Let's see how Mike Wallace is doing. Is Mike Wallace okay? Yeah, he's all right. But yeah, caution is out for the 3rd time. And yeah, Hermie is crawling into the pit lane. I think his day is over, unfortunately. Such a shame there. He was leading. He was leading. Yep, the car's really slowing down. And I don't think he's actually going to make it to his own pit lane. So caution is out for the 3rd time today. The pace car's already picked up the leaders. Here's a replay. Here's a replay then from the Goodyear blimp. It was basically just a carbon copy of the second incident when Mike Bliss got into Scott Riggs. It's just a complete carbon copy of it. I just think, and again, the 8 car is just squeezed in all of it too. What can he do? He's been involved in all 3 of the wrecks. The 25 went into him. Then the 10 and the 0 went into him for the second caution. Now here we are again. I just think Hermie was more focused on trying to get into Boris's draft and just forgot to look in his mirror to see Terry that was coming. Now, how did Jimmy get involved in this? You see Chad Chaffin just barely getting through, as well as Jimmy Johnson. Now we're just waiting for the 48 to come along. How did he manage to get damaged? Did he clip the 66 or was it the 4? I suspect it might be the 66, how far he is onto the track. Yep, and there you go. That's how he got it. Riding aboard now with Dale Jr. Yet again getting squeezed in yet another accident. And here's from Jimmy's perspective here. He wouldn't have seen where the 66 was because you can see the smoke. You can't see. Until right now. Yeah, he's got a flat tyre too. And let's ride on board with Hermie Sadler. You see, he was just focusing Boris Head's line. Then gets a little tap from the 44. And then the 4 came up and just spun him around. And then any second now, here comes the 48 and whack. Looks like the drivers are going to meet their pit stop. Now, if you notice there, Carl Edwards and Jason Leffler, they're going to be staying out. They are there are laps down, so they can't go into the pits just yet. It's only the guys that are on the lead lap that can pit. The next lap is when the drivers that are 1 or more laps down, they will make their pit stop. So we'll get this out onto pit lane number 1. Probably drivers will get some 4 fresh tyres or 2 tyres as well. And who's going to come out as the leader? Been a good day so far for the Robert Yates team, with the 38 and the 88 up front, battling all race long. Let's see if they came into the pits 1-2. Let's see if they come out of the pits 1-2. We're just about to find out in a couple of seconds' time. No, it's going to be Martin Truex Jr. that's going to come out first. That probably might be a 2 tyre change. Then the 88, then the 38 and the 43, and Mike Waltrip comes out 5th. So interesting developments there. And out goes Robbie Gordon. He must have made 2 tyres and all. You rejoin us then with exactly on lap 50. So we're going to be into the second half of the race now. Pace car lights are off. We're going to go back to some racing. Martin Truex Jr. Confirmation, he did only put on 2 fresh tyres. He leads the race over Dale Jarrett, his teammate in 3rd, Elliott Sadler, Jeff Green in 4th, Michael Waltrip in 5th, Tony Stewart in 6th, Boris Head in 7th, Bobby Hamilton Jr. in 8th, Mike Skinner 9th, Kevin LePage rounding out the top 10. Quick pit stop as well for Robbie Gordon. Must have been a fuel only stop. He's at 11th. Rusty Wallace 12th. Then they got Quapple, Harvick, Morgan Shepherd, Scott Briggs, Casey Kane, Jamie McMurray, Ryan Newman, and Mike Bliss. That is your top 20 as Truex gets the field back underway and green flag as we enter the second half now of the Daytona 500. Now we're going to be seeing a lot of fast cars trying to bob and weave through the cars that have picked up damage, like the 7 of Robbie Gordon and the 10 of Scott Briggs. You'll see them onto the backstretch. So you're seeing a lot of movement and shaking. A lot of movement and shaking going on. Not necessarily. Probably Chad Chaffin, who's right at the back of the pack, who I must have got collected in that accident, the latest wreck. Oh, he's actually picked up some damage on the back of his Chevy. Someone must have smashed into the back of him that we didn't notice. So he's actually picked up some damage. Teddy Labonte is trying to weave his way through, passing his brother on the inside. Let's actually ride on board with Teddy just to see how he gets through these slower cars, actually. Here we go then. So he's just past Casey Kane. He's on the inside of Morgan Shepherd, and you can see his back end is quite damaged. Now he's behind his teammate Jeff Gordon. And he goes by his Quapple quite easily, so he's gained about 3 positions alone in this lap. Jeff Gordon gives him the inside, because he knows Teddy's coming with a fast car. The only downside, though, as you can see further ahead, the lead pack's already gone away, so he's lost the lead draft here. So he's gained 4 positions alone in that lap. Now he's passing Kevin Harvick to the inside. Now he's now ahead of him is Mike Bliss, who's just passing Scott Briggs. So that's another position gained. Bliss gives Teddy the inside now. So basically within about 5 turns, he's gained about 7 places as Teddy. And there's Jamie McMurray just ahead. Oh, I thought he was going to go down then on Teddy. Who's that just ahead? That might be Robbie Gordon in the Jim Beam Chevrolet. Driving for his own team then. So Teddy Labonte, pretty much in 2 laps alone, has actually gained at least 7 or so spots. And indeed it is actually Robbie Gordon. Meanwhile, here we go. Let's get back up front to the action now. And it's just down to 11 cars now in the lead battle. Led by Dale Jarrett, Mike Skinner. And then you got Jeff Green And Terry Labonte gets by Robbie Gordon, no problem, as well as Chad Chaffin. And here comes Bobby Labonte as well. Just seeing this second back of cars here. These are pretty much the cars that have picked up a lot of damage there. Yep, Gordon sticking to the outside because through goes Jeff and Jamie. Now, if they could actually work together, they could actually catch up to the lead pack. Teddy's running exactly 200 miles an hour. Bobby Hamilton Jr. there in P11 is also running pretty much the same speed. Well, that's not going to work now because Bobby's just going to pass Chad on the inside. And Mike Bliss is going to make it 3 wide. So if they keep battling like that, they're not going to catch up. Further back then through the field, Mike Wallace about to attempt to make a pass on Travis Quapple. There's a look at Casey Kane, who's not had a good Daytona Speed weeks, to be fair. Not a quick time in qualifying, only just barely made it through the fastest 12. And there was Ricky Rudd, who had such a quick car in qualifying. And he currently runs down there in 26th position. Anyway, back up front then with the lead pack, and it's Jeff Green now that takes the lead. Jeff Green, the only Petty Enterprises Dodge driver in the field, because as his teammate Cal Petty didn't make the show, so he's running the team quite strongly. And Jeff started 37th, and he's now leading the race. So it is Jeff Green, followed by Dale Jarrett, and then the 23 of Mike Skinner, Michael Waltrip, and then it's Elliott Sadler, and then it's Tony Stewart, the pole sitter in 6th, Rusty Wallace, Boris said, Kevin LePage, Martin Truex Jr., and Bobby Hamilton Jr., as Skinner goes 3 wide for the lead. I think 2 cars are trying to break away from the slower pack of cars, and I think that is, yeah. You see there Terry Labonte and Mike Bliss are trying to work their way through, but I think they're just too far back to catch up to the lead pack. Jeff Gordon is also there too, as we look back then at Tony Stewart, the pole sitter. Just about to be passed on the inside by Boris said. Oh, nearly came up on Michael Waltrip. Maybe the spot him told him there's a car on your outside, and he just reacted quicker to that and prevented an accident. Tell you what, Dale Jarrett has got a car dialed in. He likes leading these laps here. That's probably more than about 10 laps he's led this race. And now Elliott Sadler in the 30. Oh, I thought he was going to go high and put Dale in the middle, but no. Goes and sticks in behind him. So drivers are having great days then. Mike Skinner in the 23. Kevin LePage. Yeah, Kevin LePage is there too. He's had a fast car all throughout Daytona the whole week. He's got a chance to win this thing. It's now the 2 Robert Yates team drivers are side by side for the lead. And this time it was Elliott Sadler that lead that lap then, as we have approached 3/5 of the race. We're on lap 60 out of 100, so 40 laps to go, and they're 4 wide now. Oh, back out of it, no. Oh, Tony and Kevin LePage, and they got together. Oh, and the pole sitter spins. Kevin LePage spun out. The pole sitter. Now, he's actually spun onto the infield. They might keep it green. He's going to keep a whole head of steam here. He's going to come up right into the second pack here. Careful, drivers. Oh, and they just avoided a big wreck. Mike Bliss there, you just saw the sparks fly there. So disaster for the pole sitter. He did get turned around by the 37. They went 4 wide, sorry. It was Truex too. And the caution has been waved out for that. So the fourth time the cautionist went out. And here's a replay of what happened to the 20. The 20 and Truex there, they were kind of beating and banging in the middle of 1 and 2. They did go 4 wide. It was just that Truex just didn't give. He had space on the right-hand side. I mean, Boris said was like way out of the inside. And there you go. They just 3 into 1 just doesn't go. And then there's the contact between the 37. And then the 37, he just wants to come back up on the track, shows his anger and says, "You shouldn't be doing that there, Tony. I'm on the inside of you," and just spins him out. Yeah, I mean, not necessarily it should have been thrown for a caution for that. I mean, he was spun well out into the infield, but I just think it was the way he came back onto the track. That was the more dangerous thing because there was another pack of cars. I mean, that could have been an awful accident. And I tell you what, fair play to the other drivers that, avoided the Tony Stewart when he recovered back on the track. So we'll keep it going, still on slow motion. And then you'll see the second pack of cars that came so close to smashing into Tony Stewart. So here he comes then. He's going to come back right onto the not onto the flat part, but onto the banking area. So the valence of the front is going to be a little bit damaged. Here he comes. Just misses Terry Labonte. Bobby Labonte just misses him. Robbie Gordon had to get on the brakes then, as well as Mike Bliss. Scott Riggs goes around the outside of the 0, and the 29 had to dab on the brakes as well. I mean, that was such a dangerous rejoin from Tony Stewart. But luckily, that was great awareness from the other drivers, especially in the second pack, to avoid the recovering Tony Stewart. Let's get some replays. So this is from Kevin LePage. You could just see there, the 1 and the 20 weren't given a lot of racing room to each other when they were side by side. And then there's the 37, went for the gap, took it, and Tony went down on him. Kevin didn't like it and spun him around. And this is from Mike Bliss's view. I mean, this would have been a heart in your mouth moment right here, ladies and gentlemen. There's the smoke up ahead. Oh, wow. I'm just amazed how these drivers did not get involved. I'm just simply amazed how they did not get involved in that accident. Looks like all the cars are coming into the pits yet again to put maybe some more fuel in the cars because we are getting towards the end of the race now. And Elliott Sadler brings the whole field back into the pits. As you see, the 99 stays out because, like I says, he is more than 1 lap down. He'll make his pit stop the next lap. As Elliott Sadler comes into his pit stall. So there goes the safety car, and there goes the 99. Like I says, he will make his pit stop the next lap. So who's going to come out as the leader this time around as we are approaching the last quarter? It's going to be Sadler that's going to come out first by quite a distance. Then his teammate, then Jeff Green in third. Oh, that's tight between Michael Waltrip and Rusty Wallace. Well, you rejoin us here as we're going to go back to the green flag for the 5th time, I believe. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. And Elliott Sadler, followed by his teammate Dale Jarrett in 2nd. Jeff Green in the Dodge in 3rd, followed by Michael Waltrip, Rusty Wallace, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Bobby Hamilton Jr., yeah, I did say Bobby Hamilton, yeah. Bobby Labonte in 7th place. He would have had some 2 fresh tyres on him. Boris said in 8th, 9th is Scott Riggs, and Casey Kane completing the top 10. Pace car pulls into the pits. We're back underway for green flag, lap 65 out of 100. And Sadler caught napping yet again like he did on the first restart. He's already lost the lead. Now we're going to see some damaged race cars up at the top here, like the 18, the 10, and the 9. We want to pay our attention there to Tony Stewart because he fell down to 27 or some. I think it was like something like 27th. So we're going to see him move his way through the field. Let's see the progress then from Tony Stewart. So he restarted. in 23rd spot. He's just passing Morgan Shepherd on the outside. Now he's going to go by Ricky Rudd on the outside. He'll be looking for that 37 car, I promise you, after what happened. So he's already gained a couple of positions. He would have put 4 fresh tyres on him because he would have flat spotted all 4 of the tyres because of the spin in the infield. Now he's coming up on his good buddy Daytona Jr., who just goes to the outside. With Casey Kane as well, so that's 2 more positions gained for Tony. We did see this with Terry, don't forget, early on in the race. Here's a look at all of the cars then, all in shot. Look at that, that's a brilliant shot, isn't it? Elliott Sadler retakes the lead. As there is Mike Skinner. He's actually caught up with the lead pack. I think he restarted in 19th place. He's already up to 9th. And now then, Michael Waltrip. It's the first time we've seen this Napa Chevrolet up front. Can he get into the lead? No, he can't. Oh, he nearly puts a block on Bobby Hamilton Jr. And that pushes Jr. out wide. And it comes Truex down low. Yeah, Tony Stewart is still trying to weave his way through the slower cars as Jeff Green leads that lap. Jarrett on the outside, followed by Waltrip. You can see Bobby Labonte just starting to fall out of touch with the lead pack. We'll just cut to him right now, actually. There he is in 11th spot. Chaffin on the outside. Here comes Terry Labonte. He's going on to the inside. And there was some free wide activity going on further behind, which involved Robbie Gordon with Junior and Mike Bliss. Yeah, Robbie Gordon had a very fast car in practice, very fast qualifying, had a very good Gatorade dual race by finishing 3rd, had to start in the 8th position, and then he was involved in that first lap wreck in lap number 9, and he's not really challenged for the lead since, which is just a shame. Let's get back up forward then to the lead battle, and you can see Tony Stewart still trying to catch up to the lead pack as he was at a side-by-side with Jeff Gordon. And you can see the orange car just in short right coming up to your screens right now. So Green still leading the lap. Boris said side by side with Bobby Hamilton. Oh, wow, that's a very high line there from Rusty. Kevin LePage now in the middle. Kevin LePage had a really solid car all throughout Daytona Speed Weeks. Again, quick in practice, very quick in qualifying. Looked like he was actually surprised Tony's with the poles, only just narrowly missing out. And he's been up front ever since. He's had a really solid run. Well, he had a decent showing in the Gatorade Duels. It was already, you know, he was pretty much guaranteed to be in the top 15. But there he is. Oh, Skinner and Elliott Sadler nearly coming together across the tri-oval. He just wants to be as far away as Tony Stewart as possible because he probably knows that 20 card is coming. So still Jeff Green with the lead, Jarrett into 2nd, and now LePage goes into 3rd spot. Or does he? Because Skinner might have a run on the outside, which he does. And Rusty goes 3 wide underneath the 32 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Keep a progress then on Tony Stewart. There he is. He's just getting by Chad Chaffin along the outside. He's getting help from his teammate Bobby Labonte. There's so many Bobbies. Bobby Labonte. He restarted 23rd. He's currently in 14th at the minute. He doesn't want to get stuck behind them quite a lot. Otherwise, he might not actually catch up to the lead draft. You can see Terry is just about out of the lead draft. There he is. He's clocking at 197. Boris is running the same time, same speed as him actually, you know. But he's just hanging on by, well, just by a thread, really. Still, no one's got anything for Jeff Green so far, as he leads to 10 cars. I think Terry is starting to catch up just a teensy bit on Boris. Oh, here comes Skinner to the inside. Makes a move on the low side, but he's got no help whatsoever, so it'll be tough to make the job done. Yep, and you can see the help at the 38 of Elliott Sadler keeps Jeff Green in the lead. Kevin LePage into fourth as Michael Waltrip goes down low, sees the run that Michael was doing. Now the two Robert Yates cars there turned pretty much identical. And now Elliott Sadler goes to the inside. Fakes the move, goes to the inside. Can he go for the lead back on Jeff Green? Can Jeff Green need another lap as he crosses the tri-oval yet again? No, I think Sadler led that lap. As we're coming up onto the third, you know, we're coming up to 75%. 75%, that's 1% a lap, Sean. Ooh, 75 laps. So we're 3/4 way through this race complete. And Teddy has actually dropped back, so he may fall into the clutches of the second pack led by Tony Stewart. Now I hear some engine sounds ahead of the lead pack. Now I'm wondering if it is. Oh no, they're way back. Okay, no worries. Oh, Mike Wallace is heading in. He's gone in for a pit stop, and he's putting some fresh tyres on. Well, kind of an unexpected pit stop, it must be said, as they're moving and shaking, going on for the lead. Still, Jeff Green holds on for the lead, and they got the two Robert Yates drivers side by side, and then got Rusty Wallace on the inside. Some good help from the 15 and Michael Waltrip. Boris Said also goes to the inside, and now Dale Jarrett shuts the door in the Page's face and gets the draft off Elliott. Yep, and now as you see there, just about then, we just saw Terry Labonte now into that second battle. There he is as Tony Stewart goes to the inside with Chad Chaffin and Jamie McMurray. Bobby Labonte just slipping, just falling away from that lead back. Let's ride on board actually with Kevin LePage. Let's ride with him. Wow, they're moving ahead of him, aren't they? They're really moving left and right. And look, Martin Truex Jr. is going to get clotheslined. He's going to get hung out to dry on the outside line. Let's just ride on board with a lap around Daytona here with Kevin LePage. I think that's Mike Wallace up ahead. You can just see that white car, a little white speck just going onto the back stretch. I think that might be Mike Wallace who's just come out putting on some fresh tyres on, so they're going to catch up to him. That is the lap around this wonderful, wonderful racetrack here at Daytona International Speedway. 3 wide for the lead. Now they're trying to have to work their way through the slow Mike Wallace. And who's going to get held up? It's going to be in the middle. Elliott Sadler goes through. Oh, wow. Dale Jarrett nearly went down. But there was a car underneath him. Just saw it there. And Kevin never really backed off the throttle. And now they're going to get stuck. Jeff Green's going to get stuck. Rusty Wallace is stuck behind the 4. Yep, Rusty goes low. Jeff is still stuck. So Sadler then with a big lead now he has. Yeah, they've all safely averted going by Mike Wallace there. The big loser and all of that with Jeff Green. because he led about seven consecutive laps, and he's fallen down to the back end of the lead pack. Oh, I thought Bobby was going to make a move and make it go 4 wide between himself, Michael, and Kevin LePage. And again, the two teammates side by side, Dale Jarrett and Elliott Sadler. Like I said before, in these bunch of 10 cars here that's battling for the lead, potentially for the win, there are only 2 drivers that have previously won the Daytona 500, Jarrett in the 88 and Michael Waltrip in the 15. They've won it 5 times collectively each other. Oh, Kevin nearly went down on Michael. I'll tell you what, there's starting to be a little bit of aggression here as we're coming down now to the last 20 laps of this race. Bobby Hamilton Jr. then stuck in the middle. As there is Boris Said, who makes a move onto the inside. And Bobby Hamilton has got no help in the middle whatsoever. And still, the teammates are side by side. Here comes LePage. I don't think he's led a lap in the 500. He wants to lead this day. He thinks it's time to go now. Oh, and they're catching up on lap traffic with the 2 Roush Racing Fords of Carl Edwards and Matt Kenseth. Oh, I think Dale nearly went down on the 37. There is starting to get some aggression here. Dale Jarrett shuts the door in LePage's face. Now we're into the last 20 laps of the race. Waltrip with a good run, but can't go anywhere because the 37's right in front of him. Truex dipping down low. Look at the different lines that the leaders are taking through 1 and 2. That's because they're going to have to contend with more lap traffic. And they're going to be side by side, aren't they? Are they still side by side, Edwards and Kenseth? No, they've gone to single file. So, again, this could be problematic for the leaders. Oh, I think Kenseth just went down low. You just saw it at their end of shot. Yes, they have. They're going to go side by side off the corner, which the leaders are coming to. They're going to block the whole field here. They're going to block the leaders. Dale Jarrett might's going to pull out to advantage, but they are going to get stuck behind the 2 Roush Racing drivers. In fact, the only 2 Roush Racing drivers, and there they go. The whole 10 cars are stuck behind the Roush Racing boys. Oh, this could actually cost someone a big race opportunity to win the 500. They're still side by side. They can't go anywhere. You can go to the inside. I think that's what Michael's trying to do. This could probably let the second pack of cars, led by Tony Stewart, catch up. But no, they still block. They still block. Oh my God, this must be infuriating for the leaders there because they can't get by the lap drivers of Kenseth and Edwards. Now Edwards goes to the inside. Oh, and Skinner gets blocked, and here comes the outside with the run. So Jarrett is free. He's enabled himself from the 2 lap cars. So too has LePage. So too has Sadler. And Skinner tries to go high. Blocks the path of... Oh, see Waltrip. Waltrip just got into the back of Matt Kenseth. He's getting impatient. He wants to get by. But he can't because these drivers are so slow. And this is going to really open up the lead pack now. Jarrett is free. LePage is free. Sadler is free. Skinner is free. Jeff Green is free. But the other drivers are still stuck behind the 99 and the 17. So this is really going to affect the outcome of this race. Potentially, unless if they get back together again. Lap 84 out of 100. Excuse me there. I'm just getting a bit excited here because we're coming to the end of this exciting race. I wonder if there's going to be a bit more twists and turns that's yet to come at the end of this race. Again, the 88 and the 38, 1 and 2. Down goes the 38 of Elliott Sadler. Skinner just goes in behind Kevin LePage. Are we down now to 5 drivers that could be in contention to win the 500? Who's that in 6th place? That's Rusty Wallace there. Followed by Michael Waltrip and Martin Truex. They have both freed. All of the top 10 drivers have freed themselves from the 19 and the 99 and the 99 and the 17. Sorry. Got this a load of tongue twisters. Now we're going to go 3 wide for 3rd place. Jarrett wisely just goes down into 5th place. I don't think Kevin LePage has actually led a Daytona 500 race. This might be his best opportunity here. Boris Said and Bobby Hamilton Jr. falling down by the wayside. I don't know if they're going to be able to catch up as we're on to lap 85. Yeah, so we're coming down onto the last 15 laps of this race. The two DEI drivers there side by side. That's not going to help. But they are going at a pretty good clip at 201 miles an hour. There's a look at the pace car. Oh, wow. They're four wide. They're four wide ahead. And Rusty Wallace has joined the lead pack now. So it's now up to 6. Can we make it to 8 with the 15 and the 1? They are slowly catching up. Jeff Green makes it 3 wide. It's an old Dodge 3 wide. Actually, Michael Waltrip is the best placed Chevrolet at the minute in 7th position. And Skinner goes back to the lead. Oh, look at Rusty going down on the 43. Yep, I think it's safe to say that Waltrip and Truex have caught up with the lead pack now, so it's up to 8. Now can we get Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Boris Said to catch up to these drivers? Jarrett now takes the lead. How many lead changes have we had? We've had so many. Must be an actual record of lead changes during the whole race. Like you see, Boris Said they're really falling out with the lead pack as well as Bobby Hamilton Jr. So I reckon it's just an 8-car scrap for potentially the Daytona 500 victory. Yeah, I think Hamilton Jr. is too far back. It's down to 8 drivers then to settle for Daytona 500. Who will it be? Will it be the 23? Will it be the 88? Will it be the 38? Will it be the 43? Will it be the 37? The 2, the 15 or the 1? Skinner still holding on with that little advantage. Here comes Wallace. He goes to the inside. That would be Kevin LePage. Sadler thinks about making a move, and he does. And Skinner gives him the room. Skinner came also close to winning his first ever NASCAR Nextel Cup Series race at Atlanta before the engine gave up the ghost late on in the race. That's the closest he's ever come to winning a NASCAR race. But he's in great shape here today. Oh, Kevin LePage went really high going into 1. And Truex goes through into the middle. Just like Noah's Ark here, 2 by 2 all for the lead. And now Truex goes to the inside of the 88 of Dale Jarrett and make it 3 wide for 3rd spot. Off the field they go now into turn 4. Oh, Truex is pitting. Martin Truex is the first to pit. So the race might not be over just yet as the 2 Robert Yates drivers get very close to each other. Oh, is Rusty going to make it 4 wide? He is sort of. This is some intense racing here. And again, we're down now to the last 10 laps of this race. So maybe a fuel economy run has to be in order here. What happened to the outcome that won the 2003 Pepsi 400? So Martin Truex then was the first of the lead pack to come and make a pit stop. They did restart on lap 65. Anyone coming into the pits this time? No. Kevin LePage has lost a lot of time now. So we're down to 6. Yeah, so we are now down to 6 drivers. I think Kevin LePage is too far back. My, oh my, oh my. We've got 2 Fords there leading this pack of cars. We've got 3 Dodges and a Chevrolet to determine the winner of the Daytona 500. As Boris Said, tries to go side by side with Bobby Hamilton Jr. further back. Well, Waltrip's backed out of it. There's Truex there, back onto the track after making his pit stop. Anyone else making a pit stop during the top drivers? No, they're not. They all go single file now across the start-finish line. We're into the last 10 laps of the race. Jarrett leads, Skinner second, Green third, Sadler fourth, Rusty Wallace fifth, and Michael Waltrip in sixth, followed by Kevin LePage, Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Boris Said in ninth place, and I think there might be Tony Stewart or Teddy Labonte completing the top 10, unless if they've made pit stops. Now we're getting into double file for second, third, and fourth and fifth. And evermore they are catching up to Martin Truex, who's got no drafting help whatsoever. Is there going to be more drivers who's going to make a pit stop? I think there could be. Yes, I think so. Kevin LePage, Rusty Wallace are into the pits as well as Ryan Newman. I think that was Casey Kane. That might have been. That was a red car. That was a red car. Was it Casey? Oh, Casey's already in. So too is Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Boris Said. So this race is going to end on fuel. Rusty's in. His teammate there, Ryan Newman's also into the pits. Let's see with Mike Skinner then. So, yep, they are trying now. They are lapping Martin Truex as all of the lead drivers there. Jeff Gordon just came out onto the track, and they're all passing the one car to put them a lap down. Quapple, Junior, Shepherd, and Rudd all into the pit lane, as the rest of them are, except for Dale Jarrett. Skinner's in, Sadler's in, Jeff Green's in, Michael Waltrip's in, but Jarrett stays out. Is this a mistake here for Dale Jarrett because he's got no one to draft with? Could this be a mistake on Dale Jarrett's part there? Well, on lap 94 out of 100, we're going to have to look at the pit stops here. Out goes Said, out goes Hamilton Jr. Tony Stewart also goes out. Oh, and yes, and Dale Jarrett got held up just slightly from the 36. So that's going to cost him a little bit of time. Yeah, it's just a whole pack of cars then all coming out on back out. So Ricky Rudd's out. There goes Casey Kane just going back, unlapping himself from Mike Skinner. Looks like he was the first one to come out of the lead pack of cars. There's Ryan Newman, followed by Jeff Green. Then Elliott Sadler. There's Michael Waltrip. And there is LePage and Wallace. They've went by two of them. And they'll be catching up to the 43 of Jeff Green. Further back then, there you can see Dale Jarrett. He's going to put a lap on Bobby Hamilton Jr. now. Jimmy McMurray also comes out onto the track. But when is Dale Jarrett going to come into the pits? That's the question. He puts, well, now Dale Jarrett puts him a lap down. In fact, Jarrett's in. Jarrett's into the pits on lap 90. He'll be on lap 96. So 5 laps to go to determine the winner of the Daytona 500. Now, everyone has made their pit stop. Where is Dale Jarrett going to come out of? He goes into his pit stall. Oh, this is absolutely insane. I don't know where is he going to come out? Is he going to come out ahead of Mike Skinner? Yeah, just a splash and dash. He's just come out of the pits. There's Skinner. Look at the gap he's got himself between him and Jeff Green. But he is coming up on a lot of heavy traffic just ahead. That's Dale Jr. in the 89 of Morgan Shepherd and Travis Bobble. Now we need to see where Dale Jarrett is because he just made a splash and dash. And he's coming out onto the racetrack, so he might gain control still of the lead as we've got 5 laps to go. Now Skinner's going to get held right behind the slow cars. Where is he? He's in his, he's onto the backstretch as well. Oh man, this is going to be some thrilling finish of this race. Here comes Jarrett, he's getting back up to full speed. Has he still got the lead? Here comes Skinner, full head of steam. Can he go by the 88? No, he can't. Jarrett just holds on, or does he? Skinner goes to the inside of Dale Jarrett. Brings in Jeff Green into the equation. Jarrett held on to the lead. Skinner second. Jeff Green in third. Rusty Wallace in fourth. 5th position is Elliott Sadler. Michael Waltrip in 6th, and Kevin LePage is in 7th. Oh, this is some finish to the end of this Daytona 500 there. Hope you're sitting on the edge of your seats like I am. Don't forget, give this race a like and a subscribe if you will. This race is not over just yet. Green to the inside. We are going to get 3 more laps of racing, and it looks like, and they're catching up to Mike Wallace as well. Rusty dives low on Dale Jr. And Michael Waltrip is coming, followed by Elliott Sadler and Kevin LePage. But it's a three-car shootout for the lead with 3 laps to go. Who's it going to be? Dale Jarrett looking for his 4th Daytona 500 victory. These drivers here, the 43 and the 23, have never won a race, let alone win a Daytona 500 race. Could they etch their way into the history books by becoming a first-time Daytona 500 champion? But look at the run that the 2 cars getting. That 2 car is coming. He's coming like his house is on fire. Now they're coming up on the lap traffic of Mike Green. Jarrett goes high. Sorry, Jarrett goes low. Green goes high. And nearly into Mike Skinner goes Mike Wallace. And Rusty does the safe way and passes him on the inside. We've got 2 more laps of racing to go. Sadler with a great run into turn 1. Goes side by side with the 2 machine of Rusty Wallace. Jarrett still leads. But Jeff Green has got one heck of a run onto the back stretch. He pulls to the inside. Ford versus Dodge. And they're going to go side by side. They're going to complete the white. They come out of turn 4 this time. They're going to get the white flag. Sadler's got that 4th place now. What's the flag man? He's going to wave the white flag. We have entered the final lap of the Daytona 500. Sadler and Wallace there are nearly coming their way into the mix. Green with the lead. Skinner down low. It's now 5 cars for the win. LePage can make it 6 and so too can Waltrip. Skinner side by side. There's nothing in it as they're onto the backstretch for the final time. They're not going to get by the slow Kevin Harvick, I don't think. So this is just an out and out brawl here for the victory. Can Sadler go down low on Skinner? He does not make the move. Skinner protects the inside line out of turn 4. Mike Skinner is going to do what Michael Waltrip done, win his first ever race, and it's the Daytona 500. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Mike Skinner has just won a NASCAR race, and what a race it is to win. Exactly like I said, what Michael Waltrip did back in 2001 when he won his first ever race, which was the Daytona 500. And now Mike Skinner has just done exactly that. What an unbelievable finish to the race that was. Oh boy, and I'm surprised that my voice is still intact there. Congratulations then to Mike Skinner. He is the new Daytona 500 champion of the 47th running of it. Yeah, why not just do another lap of parade there? You guys put on a show for the fans. Definitely take another parade lap for you. Absolutely fantastic. But there is your champion, the 23 for Bill Davis Racing, Mike Skinner. So this is the official results, and there you can see Mike Skinner. He's tried so long to get his first NASCAR Nextel Cup Series victory, and he's finally done it. And like I says, what a race to win for Daytona 500. It was a dead heat for second place between Elliott Sadler and Jeff Green, but they gave it to Sadler over Jeff Green. But no matter what, Jeff Green could hold his head held very high by finishing in 3rd place, and he did start the race in 37th. So what a drive that is from Jeff Green, and led a bunch of laps too. Rusty Wallace, the outside pole sitter, finishing in 4th place. Dale Jarrett in 5th. Kevin LePage, what a drive that was there for Kevin and all, finishing in 6th. The best Chevy driver in the field was Michael Waltrip in 7th, followed by his teammate Martin Truex in 8th. Boris Said, who had been up front the whole race up until late on before the pit stops had happened, he finishes in 9th. And Bobby Hamilton Jr., who actually picked up damage early on in the race, but still held on to finish in 10th position. Second page of drivers then sees Tony Stewart, Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon, Chad Chaffin. Great effort there from Chad, unsponsored car, and he still finishes in a top 15. Jamie McMurray, Bobby Labonte, Robbie Gordon, Mike Bliss, Scott Riggs, and Kevin Harvick, and he was the last car on the lead lap. And then into page 3, where we'll see Dale Earnhardt Jr., Travis Quapple, Morgan Shepherd, Casey Kane, Ryan Newman, Ricky Rudd, Matt Kenseth all running a lap down. Mike Wallace finishing 2 laps down. Carl Edwards was the last car in the race, 29th, and finished 3 laps down. Then Hermie Sadler was the last car to retire from that incident back at lap 64, I believe. No, at lap 45, I think it was. Then you got Jimmy Johnson, Jason Leffler. These drivers all retired throughout the start of the race. Jamie Johnson, Jason Leffler, Dave Blaney, Jerry Robertson, Brian Vickers, Bill Elliott, Scott Rimmer, Jeff Burton, Sterling Marlin, Ken Schrader, who was went into the infield care centre, and he was checked and was released, and he was okay after his violent flip early on back on lap 9. Casey Mears and Jeremy Mayfield, disappointment there for Jeremy. So that is it. Congratulations again to Mike Skinner by becoming the 2005 47th running of the Daytona 500 champion. I hope you enjoyed this whole week's worth of racing as much as I have. Hopefully we can get this video some likes and that, and you know, if you get a lot of positive comments about this, then you know my old series, the CCS, will make a comeback. So until then, well, I hope it does actually. I really do hope it does. But until then, we'll see you again. Bye bye.